Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Art Institute's podcast. We're so glad you've joined us today. In today's episode, The Future Arts Educator, Essential Skills for the Next Generation, sponsored by Art 8. Today, I want to have a serious and hopeful conversation about where we are going. If you're listening to this, you're likely deeply invested in the world of art and design. Maybe you are a teacher, a mentor, or a professional artist who guides younger creatives. You might have noticed that the landscape is shifting beneath our feet. The way we learned art 10 or 20 years ago is not exactly the way we need to teach it today. We're going to talk about the future arts educator. We're going to explore what essential skills the next generation of mentors need to have to truly help their students, our future art educators, thrive. Think back to how art education used to look. For a long time, it was centered almost entirely on technique. It was about critique, studio practice, and mastering the physical tools of the trade. Those things are still vital, of course, but today the job requires so much more. It requires fluency in technology, an understanding of business, and the ability to work with communities. The creative industries are evolving rapidly. If we want to prepare the next generation of artists, we need to help them graduate with more than just artistic skill. They need adaptability. They need digital literacy. They need to understand how to survive economically. So let's walk through the key areas where this shift is happening and look at how we, as educators and mentors, can adapt. The first major area is digital fluency. We are living in a time where digital tools are no longer optional. They are central to how artists design, create, and sell their work. It's no longer just about knowing how to use software applications or conduct online research. I am talking about things like digital fabrication, three-dimensional printing, and animation. We also have to talk about artificial intelligence. It is a controversial topic, I know, but the future arts educator needs to be proficient in these tools or at least understand them so they can guide students on how to use them ethically and effectively without compromising their own artistic value. Why does this matter? Because proficiency in these tools may help or even determine if today's artists get hired. If we understand these tools, we can prepare students for real-world production environments. We can help them understand digital copyright and how to protect their work online. A great way to start doing this is to encourage students to maintain digital portfolios right from their first semester, or to create assignments that mix traditional art with new technology. The second area we need to focus on is interdisciplinary literacy. This means truly focusing on enhancing the ability of students to cross the borders between different fields. The future arts educator needs to bridge the gap between art and other sectors like science, business, engineering, and psychology. In the past, art schools sometimes felt like bubbles, but today, creative industries intersect with gaming, healthcare, and sustainability. Students benefit enormously when we help them see how their art practice can influence and be influenced by other fields. We should be inviting guest speakers from non-art sectors. We should be building assignments that require students to solve real-world challenges. We want our students to be comfortable in a room with engineers and scientists, contributing their unique creative perspective to the conversation. The third skill set involves cultural competency and global awareness. The art world is no longer limited to a single geographic location. Thanks to the internet, our students are engaging with international audiences every day. They might sell a print to someone in Japan or collaborate on a digital project with someone in Brazil. Tomorrow's educators must prepare students to operate in this interconnected world. This means we need to understand global arts histories, not just the traditional Western canon we may have learned in school. We need to be able to facilitate critique spaces that are inclusive and aware of different identities. By doing this, we help students thrive in multicultural creative environments. We can start by integrating global perspectives into our discussions and encouraging research into artistic trends happening on the other side of the planet. Now, let's talk about something that is often overlooked in art school: entrepreneurial skills. The future arts educator must also be a career mentor. We have to guide students through the economic realities of creative work. The romantic idea of the starving artist is not helpful. We need to empower our students to be successful business people. This means we need to understand things like creative freelancing, pricing, contracts, and financial management. We need to teach them about marketing, branding, and how to sell online. Most students will not just have one job. They will combine multiple income streams. They might teach a little, take freelance commissions, sell digital products, and apply for grants. If we can explain these pathways to them, we empower them to build sustainable lives. We should be dedicating time to talk about pricing and contracts. We should bring in alumni who are running their own businesses to share their stories. We need to normalize talking about money and sustainability in the arts. The fifth area is community engagement. Art is increasingly playing a role in civic dialogue and social issues. Educators must understand how to guide students towards responsible community engagement. This involves skills in project planning and public collaboration. It means understanding the ethics of working with a community. Many organizations and funders now prioritize projects that help the community. When we incorporate social engagement into our teaching, students gain important communication and leadership skills. We can prepare them by collaborating with local nonprofits or civic organizations. We can encourage them to make art that doesn't just sit in a gallery, but actually lives in the world and interacts with people. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we need to talk about adaptability. The one constant in our field is change. The most important skill for any educator or mentor is the ability to continually evolve. We need to model curiosity. We need to show our students that we are open to experimentation and that we're comfortable with not knowing everything. If we want our students to be adaptable, we have to demonstrate it ourselves. We should share our own creative process with them, including our failures and our revisions. We should make professional learning a routine part of our lives, not just something we do once a year. When we grow alongside our students, we show them what it looks like to be a lifelong learner. So, what is the takeaway here? The arts educator of the future is a hybrid professional. We are part artist, part technologist, part mentor, part strategist, and part cultural ambassador. It sounds like a lot, I know, but it is also an incredibly exciting time to be in this field. By embracing digital tools, connecting with other disciplines, thinking globally, understanding business, engaging with our communities, and staying adaptable, we can confidently prepare the next generation. We can help them not just to survive, but to succeed and to lead in this rapidly changing world. Thanks for listening to the Art Institute's podcast. This episode has been brought to you by Art8, webinars for creatives. Share your artistic passions, sell your art, learn new skills, and build your tribe with live or on-demand expert webinars. Learn more at art8.net. Here's how to stay connected to Art Institutes. First, subscribe to the Art Institute's podcast so you never miss an episode. Next, sign up for our popular newsletter at news.artinstitutes.org. Together, we're not just supporting the art world, we're redefining it. Thanks for tuning in to the Art Institute's podcast. Remember, art doesn't just happen. Its foundation is built by institutions and individuals like you. So keep creating, keep leading, and we'll see you next time on the Art Institute's podcast.